Hey everyone, I am John.
And I'm Miranda.
And we are back for a daddy-daughter review. It's been a little while, but it's DC week and we're ready to go. Tonight we're looking at...
DC's new show, Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it's a big cast and the two of us are ready to talk to you about it. Coming up right after this. Alright Miranda, how long have we been waiting for Legends of Tomorrow?
Months.
Months.
At least.
Yeah. We've been ready to watch this because we've been watching The Flash together. We watched the last season of The Flash.
Yep.
And they've been setting this up on Flash.
For 2 or 3 months.
Right. And Arrow, which I watch. You don't watch as much of Arrow.
Not really.
But we've been excited about Legends of Tomorrow, and so we're ready to talk about episode number 1. Now, this episode, it was interesting. Would you say this was a super action-packed episode?
No, it really wasn't. I mean, it was just a setup. And for me personally, I prefer the action-y episodes versus like these setup episodes, but they need to happen.
Yeah, and this was one that I think they felt like they'd done a lot of setup. If you watch Flash and if you watch Arrow, there's been a lot of things going into this.
For months.
Because everybody on the team, other than Rip Hunter, has been in those other episodes, has been in Flash and everything. We've got Ray, who's from Arrow, and Sarah, who's from Arrow.
And Jefferson Jackson.
And Professor Stein, who were from Flash. And then Kendra and Carter, who kind of were on the crossover. And then Heatwave and Captain Cold, also from Flash. So these characters have all been on those other shows, and that's where they're coming from. But here's what they had to do. They had to get Rip Hunter, give him a reason why he was going to be here. And they really kind of had to give us a reason why each of these other characters had to be here.
Yeah, well, one of them was forced to be there.
Well, that's true. That's true. So Jack got drugged. Jefferson Jackson, or Jax as it goes by. Jax was drugged by Professor Stein. I was a little bit surprised about that.
Yeah, I think that Professor Stein's a little bit too upstanding to do something like that.
And it's like he was ready. Like he went to go talk to him, and Jax was like, nah. Oh, you drugged me. Boom. Like, what if he said yes and he'd already drugged him?
That would probably not end up well.
Yeah, that would not end up well at all. So we've got all these people. Heatwave and Captain Cold, obviously, they seem to be there because they want to try to steal stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that Rip Hunter would invite those two because they're a little bit suspicious.
Yeah. Adam kind of clearly wants to, Ray Palmer wants to leave his mark on history. He wants to feel like he's an important part of history. And right now it seems like he died, didn't really die, and no one even noticed. So he's engaged. Sarah Lance, White Canary, she's got her own kind of issues she's got to work out. She died, came back, but she's got some anger stuff going on that she's got to try to work out. There was one thing that was interesting when Rip Hunter says, "You're legends." And Professor Stein said, well, but legends die. Don't you have to die to be a legend?
Yeah.
But he's from the year 2166. They were all going to be dead by 2166. Like
Yeah,
I'm not going to live to see 2166.
Unless somehow you're randomly immortal, like Savage is to this point.
That's a good point. But it would be surprising if they were all just happened to accidentally be immortal.
Yeah, that would be a weird coincidence and also kind of, I don't know, dumb.
Yeah. So one thing I think is interesting also is that a lot of these people are still kind of learning their abilities.
Yeah, Kendra is.
Right.
Jax is.
Firestorm is not really fully figured out his abilities yet.
Yeah, they're still kind of shaky.
Adam's suit is a little bit shaky. I think Ray doesn't quite have that down.
Yeah.
I do think that Sarah.
I
mean, she's trained martial art. Right. Heatwave and Captain Cold, they clearly know their equipment.
They've had it for a season,
maybe
2 seasons.
Yep. Now I will say, Rip Hunter, and who did Rip Hunter? Who's that? Who remind you of?
Rip Hunter reminds me of Rory Williams from Doctor Who. Smith.
A lot of Rory Williams, since it's the same actor who played Rory Williams. So he was on a show about a guy who's a time traveler and actually traveled through time, and now he's...
Well, he technically, in that show, he was not the time traveler.
Right, he was not a time lord, but he was just a guy who ended up going through time and got erased from time, and now he's on...
At least as far we haven't watched all of Doctor Who.
That's
yet.
true. As far as we've watched, he's erased from time.
Yeah.
But now he's not a Time Lord, he's a Time Master. And I will say that the character of Rip Hunter precedes the character Doctor Who in literature, and in the world of entertainment. So he is not a copy of the other. Now, in comics, Rip Hunter traveled in a time sphere, a time bubble. But here he's got this fancy ship called the Wave Rider, and the Wave Rider was actually the name of a character in DC Comics who could travel through time and look at people's timelines. So they couldn't see him, but he could come up and touch you, and when he touched you, he could see what was going to happen in your future.
And I bet you couldn't even feel it and stuff.
Sometimes people would kind of have like a chill, like, oh, what just happened? But they wouldn't really remember it. And he's got his AI Gideon, so it's not exactly a TARDIS.
Well, it's not like it. It's a bit more sophisticated.
Right.
And a lot larger.
Right.
On the outside.
It was funny because in one of the shows that we saw earlier, it looked like we got to see White Canary in sort of this 70s disco sort of outfit, but in the show, she didn't wear it. She was wearing her White Canary outfit. Because I was like, she said, oh, I brought the perfect outfit. And I was like, she brought outfits for different times?
That reminds me of a Doctor Who companion.
Of course. Well, they don't have to do that, though, because whenever they go, people just see them in their normal costumes.
One of them choose.
Oh,
One
gotcha.
of them chose to them.
But she's got her fighting outfit. They go out for a drink, and I felt like, I'll be honest with you, I felt like she wanted a fight.
Well, I think it was kind of in between, because she's just like, yeah, you're not my type. And, I mean, that could have sparked a fight if she had said it.
Yeah.
Differently, but it was kind of in that indifferent voice.
Yeah, but I don't think she was shying away from a fight.
Yeah.
Like, I think she enjoyed the fight. Like, she thought it was pretty fun. And clearly, Captain Cold and Heatwave were
enjoyed that.
Right, they were totally cool with getting in a fight. We got this guy with Kronos, and that was kind of the part where the action is. So he's following them through time. I thought he was an agent of Vandal Savage.
Yeah.
But it turns out...
He's a Time Master.
Right,
person.
he comes from the Time Masters too.
Yeah.
And that's when we find out that in fact he didn't gather them because they're legends. He got them for the opposite reason. They have no significant impact on time.
That's kind of stupid. I mean.
Would that make you feel sad if time traveler came back and said, you know what, you didn't really have any impact on the timeline?
You didn't do anything.
Plus, how do they even know that? Like, they're from the future, but what about your kids who are later than that? Maybe they have an impact later on.
And you still technically impacted on them because you were...
I mean, if you didn't have any
Parental
kids or
attention.
whatever, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
That would be sad. That would depress me. Person from the future watching this, don't come back and tell me I'm not important. I just assume...
Yeah, I don't think anyone would be very happy with that.
No, not at all. Who's going to be happy with that? I thought it was interesting. I did think that Kronos, they should have, like, between all of them, they should have been able to take him out.
Yeah, I think that was kind of dumb.
You got Firestorm and Atom blasting him from above, you got Heatwave, and you got people who can fly, and Captain Cold.
You've got, like, 8 different superheroes. You can take one guy out.
And Rip Hunter shooting his pistol.
Laser.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
You should be able to get a guy out.
They should be able to get that guy. Now, maybe they'll be better as they learn how to work together as a team.
True.
Yeah. And it was interesting that Kendra and Carter, that they met this man who it turns out was their
Son.
Yeah. So he was born back around like World War I, and they had him. I thought that was interesting. I wonder if as we go through time, we will see them with other kids. Like, will they meet? Do you think they'll meet their past selves?
I wonder. I mean, it's all this time travel stuff is so complicated because you get into how would I meet this person? Are they still alive? I mean, it's so confusing. Right?
Yeah, and we've been watching some Doctor Who, so we kind of got the feels a little bit for this whole thing. But I was really, I've been really looking forward to this series. I would say, what would you give this out of 10?
Out of 10, I'd say I'd give this a 7 or 7.5 because I didn't really like how there was very much action, but it was really good as a startup episode to bring everyone together.
Yeah, it's a promising start.
Yeah.
We got a lot more to come. I do think the interactions with Captain Cold and Heatwave add a lot of humor.
Yeah.
to it. So I'm just very curious to see how the whole thing goes forward. But I would agree, it wasn't a amazing, like, whoa, jaw-dropping episode.
Wasn't an amazing premiere.
Yeah.
But it's promising.
Good start.
Yeah.
Good start. Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, we're excited to be watching all the shows. Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow are the big three we watch together,
Yep.
along with Doctor Who.
But we don't do reviews for those.
We have not done. We've got other guys doing our Doctor Who reviews. Check out our website, worstcomicpodcastever.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, WCPE Ever. And we look forward to seeing you guys next time, or having you see us, I guess. We don't see you. All right. Well, we'll see you next time. All right? Sounds good. Bye.